Yo, what's going on, man? It's Mo Saleem here from tripleyourt.com, and in today's video we're going to be talking about fenugreek and whether it is actually a proven testosterone booster in men. Alright, so fenugreek, aka Greek hay, is a herb that's part of the pea family that has traditionally been used in Arabic regions and in India to enhance aspects of male health. The most commonly used part of the plant are its seeds, which can be used in cooking and in making medicine. So fenugreek is known to possess antibacterial, antimicrobial, and anti-diabetic effects. But today it is actually a very popular ingredient in some of the best-selling testosterone boosters on the market. And right now we're going to look at the 5 human studies that have looked at fenugreek and whether it actually increases testosterone levels in human research. Alright, so in this first study, 30 resistance-trained men were brought in as subjects and randomly assigned to ingest either 500 milligrams of fenugreek or placebo for 8 weeks. During this time, they were also put on a 4-day per week resistance training program. So at the end of 8 weeks, the men that were given fenugreek had about a 7% increase in total testosterone levels and about a 12% increase in their bioavailable testosterone levels. Muscle and strength differences between placebo and the fenugreek group, however, remained unchanged. So according to this first study, although fenugreek supplementation does seem to have a positive impact on testosterone levels, a 12% increase is not actually enough for you to actually notice any differences. Alright, so in the second study, 60 healthy men were given 600 milligrams of fenugreek extract for 6 weeks. After this time period, all of the men reported significant improvements in their erectile function and sexual health, but that being said, their testosterone levels remained unchanged. And a note on the sexual functioning of the subjects, it was assessed via a multiple choice test. So although the fenugreek group did score better on that test, it is still only a subjective measurement rather than an objective measure of their functioning, alright? So in this third study, 45 resistance-trained men were brought in and given 500 milligrams of fenugreek extract for 8 weeks. And during this time period, they were also put on a 4-day per week resistance training program. And at the end of 8 weeks, fenugreek supplementation failed to have an influence on their testosterone levels. But an interesting finding about this study was that the group that was supplementing with fenugreek actually experienced a 10% decrease in DHT. And if you didn't know, DHT is actually a derivative of testosterone, which is 5 times more potent than testosterone, and many of the benefits that we associate with higher testosterone levels can actually be tied back to DHT. Although higher levels of DHT are associated with male pattern baldness, lower levels of it is definitely something that we don't want. Alright, so in this fourth study, 30 resistance-trained men were brought in and split into 2 groups, one group receiving 500 milligrams of fenugreek and the other group receiving placebo. At the end of 8 weeks, the men that were receiving fenugreek lost twice the amount of body fat and gained twice the amount of muscle tissue. Testosterone levels were not a measurement in this study, but a point to be noted is that this study was actually funded by Indus Biotech, which is a company that actually manufactures fenugreek. So there's definitely some bias that might be involved. Alright, so in this 5th and final study, 49 resistance-trained men were brought in and split into 2 groups. One group given 500 milligrams of fenugreek supplementation, the other group given placebo. At the end of 8 weeks, the men that were supplementing with fenugreek gained more muscle and strength, but surprisingly, they had a 10% decrease in their free testosterone levels. So that's pretty confusing, but hey, I'm just the messenger and that's what the study says, alright? And if you want more detail into each one of these studies, then you can just check out my link in the description, which goes over my blog post, which outlines each one of the 5 studies that we've discussed over here in this video. So based on these 5 studies, fenugreek is not a proven testosterone booster, alright? They either found a minor increase, no change, or actually a decrease. So At this point, if you want to increase your testosterone levels, there are better supplements for you to consider than Fenugreek. And you can check out my ultimate guide to testosterone booster video, which I've linked out in the description as well. As for athletic performance, Fenugreek supplementation does seem to have some bodybuilding benefits, which include fat loss, muscle building, and strength gain. But keep in mind that those studies that found these results were actually sponsored by Indus Biotech, which is a company that manufactures Fenugreek. So I would take the results with a pinch of salt. As for some other health benefits of Fenugreek, they include improved digestion, improved libido, improved cholesterol markers, and anti-inflammation. As for Fenugreek side effects, according to WebMD, if you exceed the recommended dose, then it can cause digestive issues, which include diarrhea, gas, and bloating. And if you have any bleeding conditions, then Fenugreek can somehow make them even worse. And if it's applied to the skin, it can cause some irritation as well. As is the case with all supplements, it's always important that if you suffer from any prior conditions, to consult with your primary healthcare physician before supplementing. Alright? So in conclusion, Fenugreek is definitely not a proven testosterone booster. And if you are considering supplements, I just want to leave you on a note that you should always consider diet and lifestyle changes first. Because supplements, although there are some that might be effective, which you can check out in my video below, they will not nearly be as effective as if they're combined with diet and lifestyle changes. If testosterone optimization is a priority for you, always implement diet and lifestyle changes before considering any supplements whatsoever. With all that being said, this has been Mo Saleem. Thank you so much for checking out this video, and I'll see you soon.